What's it like to live 10 years trapped in an RV against your will? That's been my reality for the past decade. I'm 18 now, but when I was only 7 years old, my parents made a choice that would shape my entire childhood without asking me what I wanted. They sold everything we owned, packed us into an RV, and decided we were going to live free and travel the United States full time. To them, it was the dream. My dad works online and my mom films content about our so-called adventures. She's not famous, but she's known enough that sometimes people recognize us. And ever since I was little, I've had a camera shoved in my face whether I wanted it or not. I didn't get a say in being part of her brand. My life has never been normal. I sleep in a tiny bunk bed I outgrew years ago, with nothing but a curtain for privacy. My second bunk is the only space I have for my belongings. My entire life reduced to a shelf in a tin can on wheels. I was homeschooled most of my life, then switched to online school, only because I begged for some independence. I've never had real friends. We never stayed in one place longer than a month. I've never been able to get a job, no weekends hanging out, no school dances, no part-time work to save money for a future, just endless driving, hiking trails I didn't care about, and sweating through heat and bugs while my mom recorded every second for her channel. I tried talking to them about how miserable I was. I begged them to let us settle down, even just for a year, so I could try to have a normal teenage experience. Every time, I got the same response. A nomadic life is the best way to live. You'll thank us one day, but I don't. I resent them for treating me like luggage in their grand adventure instead of their daughter. For years, I felt hopeless, trapped, just waiting until I turned 18 so I could figure out how to leave. But the truth was, even at 18, I had no money, no job, no place to go, and no family I thought I could turn to. That changed a couple of weeks ago. After posting online about my situation, I got advice from strangers telling me to look into extended family. My mom had always refused to talk about her side of the family, so I assumed there wasn't anyone. But all I had was her maiden name and where she was born. It felt like nothing. Turns out, it was enough. I started digging. For the first time in my life, I was grateful for the internet. I managed to find my grandmother's Facebook profile. It took me days to work up the courage, but I sent her a message explaining who I was, who my mother was, and the life I'd been forced into. When she responded, she was horrified. She had no idea she even had a granddaughter. She told me things about my mom that I won't share here. That's her story, not mine. But it was clear why they were no contact. Still, none of that stopped her from wanting to know me. And suddenly, I discovered something I never thought I had. Family. Real family. I have an aunt and an uncle. Cousins. People who were just as shocked to find out about me and who immediately wanted to help me escape the life my parents forced on me. Right now, I have a plan. My aunt lives in a big city on the West Coast. She has a stable home and even a spare bedroom she's already promised me. She bought me a train ticket, and I'm making arrangements to leave. My uncle has kids, but my aunt lives alone, so she's the perfect person for me to stay with while I get on my feet. I've already started looking into colleges nearby. I want to start over, to finally have a normal life. Classes, friends, maybe even a job. Things I've dreamed about for years but never had the chance to experience. I'm still figuring out how much to tell my parents. Part of me wants to just leave a note or a video explaining that I left willingly, so they can't accuse anyone of taking me. The irony of filming my own escape after all these years of being forced in front of a camera isn't lost on me. But the truth is, they don't need to know the details. They don't even know where my mom's family lives. For the first time in my life, I hold the cards. I don't know exactly what comes next, but I know this much. I finally have a way out. I finally have people who care about me, not the content version of me my mom parades online. And for the first time in 10 years, I feel hope. So if you asked me just 2 weeks ago if I'd ever get away, I would have said no. But now, I have a plan, a ticket, and a family waiting to welcome me home.